No, so I just want to make sure, like when you say, and for the audience, I want it to be very clear, to make $250 per door per month, all expenses paid.
Correct.
Okay, and that's always your yardstick, and you're always able to achieve that in your market?
100. Well, so yes, 100%. I will always be able to achieve that, but not necessarily in my market where I live. I don't invest where I live. I invest all over the country. My students invest all over the country. I even have students in Canada that invest in America. It's super awesome as well. Being able to help I just love helping people see that this is possible. So here's what's great thing, and Axel, you and your audience will definitely understand this. So I don't pay my taxes. I don't pay my insurance. I don't pay my property manager. I don't pay for repairs. I don't pay for my mortgage. My tenants pay for all of that. And then after that, I tack on whatever profit I need, meaning, well, I'll give you an example. You add up all your expenses, all the ones I just explained, taxes, insurance, mortgage, property manager, rehab, vacancy factor. You add all those up, that is your expenses. Yeah. Then I talk to my property manager, the experts on the ground, which is part of building business, which I'll get to in just a second. What we do then is we ask the property manager, how much can we rent this property for? They're going to say, oh, you can probably rent it for $1,300. Well, if your expenses are $1,000, and that's all your expenses, literally every single one, including, capital expenses, repairs, and all that sort of stuff. And then if you can rent it for $1,300, well, that difference there is $300. That's literally cash in your pocket to basically provide for your family. So yes, I make sure that everything is absolutely accounted for before I buy the property. Now, the last thing you want to do, I'll tell you. So I'm going to quickly jump into building the business. I'll show you the wrong way to do it. And this is the way I did it at first. And then I realized this was wrong. And my property manager started stealing from me in like 6 months. So the wrong way is in 2006, I flew from California to Ohio, 2,000 miles away, and bought a property. I basically got a realtor and a property manager and put them together and then bought a property. Well, if you listen to anybody, this back in 2006 when I was learning this, but this is what they teach. And still a lot of people teach this. It's wrong, by the way. So this is the wrong way. Just I'll quickly overview because this is the wrong way. What they do is they say, find a property anywhere in the country, run the numbers, make sure you're going to be making a little money in passive income, like $50 or $100. And then from there, you spend thousands of dollars to buy the house. Then you spend even more thousands of dollars to fix up the house. Then you find somebody to rent it. Then you find somebody to manage the property. Well, in my opinion, that's just about backwards. Yeah. What I love to do is build the business first. And here's what it looks like to build the business first. We don't buy the property and then build the business. No, we build the business first. And this is what it looks like. If you're going to start a convenience store, candy bars and soda machines and all that sort of stuff, you're not going to sign a lease on a location, open the doors and set a box of candy bars in there and hope to run a business. No, you'd go out of business in 2 seconds. What you would do, though, is you would get the gondolas. Those are shelving units that all the candy bars go on, the countertops, the cold storage, the fountain machines, bank accounts, cash registers, insurance, employees. You'll do everything in the business before you buy any inventory. Same thing in real estate investing. You build the entire business first, then you buy a piece of property that is now a piece of inventory that you put into your business. Because a lot of people will tell you, remember, like I said, the wrong way, run the numbers and then you buy it, spend thousands of dollars. That's the wrong way. You do it the wrong way. Eventually, what's going to happen is this has happened many, many times to a lot of people that I try to help. So they do everything the wrong way, and then they go to find a property manager. And either they can't find a property manager, or all the property managers that they find say, I'm not going to manage that property. I'm going to get shot if I go over there. Yeah, that's the wrong way. How much better would it be if you built the business first? That's, contractors, plumbers, roofers, wholesalers, realtors, property managers, inspectors, mortgage brokers, insurance agents. You're going to do all this first, and then you're going to call up your property manager. Say, property manager, here's a property that I'm looking at buying. Would you tell me, number one, if you're going to manage it, number two, how much it could rent for, number three, the vacancy factor, and anything else you know about it? An expert will literally give you good information. Now, I'll give you an example of what's not an expert. Zillow.com. That's a website. Realtor.com, Trulia, Redfin. Those are not experts. They're just databases of just information. They're not experts. But who are the experts? It's the people literally there on the ground. Now, I invest all over the country. My students invest all over the country. Whenever my students say, hey, Dustin, you invest in this city, you're the expert. Can you tell me about it? I'm like, no. Even though I invest, I know 10, 15, 20 properties.
You go do the research.
Yes. Well, on top of not just the research, I'm not the expert, and we can't be the experts. Who are the experts, though? It's the people literally living there who you are going to hire. So here's what an expert looks like. It's fantastic. You find the right property manager. You say, hey, property manager, here's this property, number 1 Happy Street or whatever the address is. And you say, how much do I rent it for? They say, you know what? I know that area. I will manage it. In fact, I have a property that's right around the corner, about a block away.
Exactly.
And I was trying to get $1,600 for it, but we couldn't. Zillow said $1,600, but most we can get was $1,400 for it. Yeah. And you're like, oh my goodness. If I would have ran my numbers at Zillow's numbers, $1,600, and only get $1,400, that would blow up my passive income.
It'd be a deal breaker.
It would be. So that's why we build the business and we hire the experts first so that they can make sure we're doing the business right.
Absolutely. So your first advice is really to build all of the team and the systems first before you even consider looking at a property to put it in your funnel.
Correct. And I'll add one more on top of that. So like I've mentioned, I coach a lot of people. I have hundreds of students and I coach how to do this. A lot of times, this is what happens. Like we find a city. In fact, we just had a group coaching call last night where one student was saying, I'm analysis paralysis. I don't know where I should invest. And I opened up Zillow and I started zooming in. We found a great, actually, what was it? It was in Louisiana, Shreveport, Louisiana. After I was looking at it, I was like, this might be a good place for me. But long story short, what happens is I never looked at Louisiana, never looked at Shreveport, found that really quickly, in literally 3 minutes, that it might be a good area. But all that to say, as I'm talking to my students, this is really, really crucial. You guys need to realize this. As I'm talking to my students and teaching them to build the business first, let's say we find an area of the country to invest that has a lot of inventory. Remember, a property is inventory. A property is not a business. A property is inventory. So we find a city that has a lot of inventory that we can buy, right price point, right rent amount, all that sort of stuff. Then we pause looking at properties. What I get a lot of students do, and don't do this, everybody listening, don't do this. They say, hey, Dustin, we found an area. I already have 5 realtors sending us properties. I'm like, no, stop. Realtors are literally like the last people we need. Who we need first? We need our property managers first. Because if, let's say you find all these realtors, they're sending you properties, but you can't find a good property manager. I literally flew to a city and didn't invest there because I could not find a really good property manager. Well, that would be so bad if I bought a house and didn't have a property manager. Then I have an asset. Instead of an asset, it's a liability. So I tell my students, stop talking to realtors until you nail down a good property manager by interviewing them. Now, texting is not interviewing. Emailing is not interviewing. Phone calls. Those are interviews. They're an employee, basically. Even though they're a contractor, think of them as your employee in your business. You need to make sure you find the right people. They're going to do it the way that you want, setting up the businesses and systems, that processes that you want in your business, and make sure that they're going to do it right. So pause everything, look at properties. Don't find realtors first. Find property managers first.
But that's really the myth out there, is that, first thing, talk to a real estate agent, find a property and stuff like that. But you've really perfected the method. And in your segment, you're mostly looking at single family homes.
So I call them residential. So 4 units and below. That's what IRS and the banks call it. So 4 units and below. Once you get to 5 units, different dynamics with financing and all that sort of stuff. Okay. So then you really talked about building the business first. What other advice would you give to people who are looking to start? Yeah. So building the business first is obviously number one, but number 2 comes down to passive income, as well as, I already said, I'll skip to another one. So I've already talked about passive income. Remember, $250 a month, the minimum. In fact, the properties I bought in 2006, now I've doubled how much money I make in passive income. Rents just keep going up, which is fantastic. So passive income, build the business. Now the next one is, you want to develop your business systems and processes to make it automated. I love not doing anything in my real estate investing business. Now, a lot of people have heard of the book, The 4-Hour Workweek. That's a good book and all. It gets you thinking, but here's the thing. I think working 4 hours a week is for suckers. I don't want to work 4 hours a week. I don't want to work 4 hours a month. I maybe work 30 minutes a month, on all my businesses for real estate, because I have property managers. They don't do all the work. All I do is pull up their statements, read it, and make sure everything looks good, and then put it away. So here's what we're going to do to automate the business. So number one, we're going to build a business. That's the hardest part. That takes the most time. We build the business first, but then once we have the business built, then we implement business systems and business processes. So this is what it would look like. Just a small example. You're going to talk to property managers. They're going to have a way that they run their business, meaning they have landlords that they employ or not employ, that they're their customers. And then they run their business by evicting and collecting rents and all that sort of stuff. So what I tell my property managers is, I don't care how you take care of other people's properties, take care of them that way that they want to. You're going to take care of my properties the way I want them taken care of. So here's a quick example. Rent's due on the 1st. It's late after the 3rd. Then we put in a 3-day notice after that, it's late. Then once that 3-day notice is up, you obviously tack on late fees and everything. But as soon as that 3-day notice is up, you literally start the eviction process. Now, this is literally non-discrimination. Like, we're not discriminating at all because we're treating everybody the exact same way. If you don't pay your rent, you're going to be evicted. Just like if you don't pay your mortgage on your house, your bank, you're not going to be able to call up your bank. Hey, bank, my son got arrested and I had to bail him out. So that's when our money for the mortgage.
I need a break this month.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. You're going to say, oh yeah, that's okay. You don't have to pay this. No, they're not going to say that. They're going to say, oh, that's too bad. Your mortgage is still due. We're going to start the foreclosure process. Same thing in your business. See, a lot of mom and pop landlords, I get it. I did the exact same thing where I got lenient. Like, oh, there's a sob story. I got lenient and I realized I just got taken advantage of time and time again. So what you need to do, put in the business systems and processes so that they run the business for you the way you want it to run.
No, and the minute, as you said, like the minute you start to get too lenient, you get taken advantage of. We've all been through it at least once. I know I made my mistake and I have a bad case on that. I learned my lesson. And as you said, like, rent's due on the 1st, the 3rd, it's late. And after that, you can start a procedure. Like here in Quebec, it takes a little bit more time. It's actually around the 21st that you can start the eviction process. But anyways, those are details, but you're absolutely right. And you have to train your tenants on how to treat you. Yep,
you sure do. Because honestly, everybody's going to have an excuse one way or the other. Like, well, I'm sorry to hear that, but it's still going, I'm going to treat you the same as everybody else. But here's the thing. I do get a little lenient when I'll give you a small example of how I can be lenient. If a tenant's been in there over a year, definitely 2 years, and I'll give you an example. Literally, somebody recently said, "Hey, I got a late fee, and it was a bummer. I was a little late, got a car accident, whatever it might be." I gave them a break on their late fee because they've literally been there for 2 years, paid every single time. They've even fixed up the property, changed a leaky faucet. I'm like, you know what? Things happen. 2 years, you've been great. But this one, I literally said this, for this one time. I made it's completely clear. This one time, you've been fantastic. I'll help you out. And I took off the late fee, but it's the one time because I also want the tenants to realize, hey, Dustin's a good landlord. Dustin's somebody that really wants to, like, he cares about the property and cares about us. He's not just in about the numbers, because I want them to realize, man, if I stay here, I'm going to be obviously number one, be taken care of because I have a place. But I'm thinking turnover, somebody moving out of the place, getting it fixed up, getting somebody else back in. That's a lot of money. I'd rather just give up $40, which is a late fee, to keep somebody in there and not forego, $1,500, $2,000 or whatever to do a turnover.
Exactly. And have a month or two of vacancy and so on and so forth.
Exactly. But if they've only been there like 6 months and they're already late, no. You need to train your tenant. Just like you said, Axel, train the tenant that they cannot be late because we can't be late on our mortgage.
We all have a few tenant stories, but this is not the place to get into this. Anyways, hey, Dustin, thank you very much for sharing all this. Where can people find out more about you?
Yeah, actually, I have a real estate investing course I'd love to give away for free. Do you mind if I share that with everybody?
Please.
Awesome. So I have a way you can text it, but I know in Canada, not everybody can text but it's, if you text the word rental, RENTAL to 33777, rental to 3377, I'll give it to you literally for free. Or you can go to masterpassiveincome.com/free course. all one word, /free course, masterpassiveincome.com/free course. I'll literally give it to you, show you how to find an area of the country to invest, how to make sure that you're building the business first, making $250 a month in passive income, and how to scale the business to quit your job. Plus, I also have my podcast. It's literally just me teaching how to do this. Master Passive Income Podcast, Master Passive Income YouTube channel, my website, masterpassiveincome.com. Basically, here's the great thing. When I was figuring out passive income, I bought one rental property. I thought, man, I don't do anything. I've mastered passive income. And that's where the name Master Passive Income came in, because now I literally have 30 plus properties. I'm like, well, I don't have to do a thing because I've mastered it. So I want to help everybody else master it.
Well, look, thank you very much. And, we have really something in common, is that we care about our community and helping as many people as possible. I know in our case with my wife, real estate investing has made a big difference in our life. And we really want to help people do the same, because, some people are looking to get three doors and some are looking to get 300, and there is everything in between, but just every property makes a difference. So, let's keep doing that and helping everyone out there.
Absolutely, Axel.
Dustin, thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. And for everyone listening, hope you enjoyed this, and stay tuned until next week's episode. Thank you.
Thank you.